Hey everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of Voyager, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to Patreon D&D, where platinum level patrons and I get together to play Dungeons and Dragons via Discord and Roll20. These sessions are entirely supported by patrons of patreon.com/roguewatson. Patrons also get exclusive access to private videos, custom 5e content, and participate in monthly DM roundtables. These Patreon games are not live streamed, but are recorded for your viewing pleasure. You can watch more sessions, reviews, and crafting streams on my channel. Read recaps at roguewatson.com and listen to all of these shows with the Rogue Watson podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter at Rogue Watson and join our Discord server with invite link into the description below. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod, and our amazing original character art was done by Jimmy McClure. Welcome to Chapter 3, Episode 4 of our Empire of the Ghouls campaign, designed by Richard Green and published by Kobold Press. This session I am joined by patrons Corey, playing Lucian Drago, the dhampir Clockwork Soul Sorcerer.
Hello.
Dory, playing Io, the gearforged Circle of the Moon Druid.
Hello.
Genocider, playing Kovac, the ratfolk Dawnblade Rogue.
Hello.
Stan, playing Alaric, the dhampir Death Domain Cleric / Bard.
Greetings.
And welcome to newcomer Stephanie, playing Nahm Sune of the Delta, the Minotaur Oath of Vengeance Paladin.
Hello, everyone.
Previously on Empire of the Ghouls. On the Shieldfall River, the party battled ape-like ogres, rescuing a pair of bear folk who were also on their way to Huldra. The Huldra trollkin arrived, and after some introductions, escorted the group to their stilt city above the marsh. Queen Thorgerd accepted the sword and shield from Reaver's Cave. She called for a feast in honor of their fallen comrade and promised to use her sages to divine more information on the rising evil the party seeks. At the feast, everyone enjoyed a variety of games and contests, including archery and boulder lifting, in a boulder lifting race. During a snake handling event, Lucian received a disturbing vision of a dark forest, ghostly hands, and an ominous building rising from a pit. Toward the end of the day, the party spotted a suspicious Huldra. A drunk Alaric followed her, but was mysteriously charmed into acquiescence. Thankfully, Torben and Rye weren't far behind, and the faux Huldra breathed out an icy, freezing breath, then disappeared. Reporting this to the Queen, she confirmed that there were recent sightings of evil fey creatures in the area. Rye cast Detect Thoughts to learn that the Huldra are protecting a world tree sapling here in Huldra. The Queen asked the party to follow the map they had found and eliminate any dangerous creatures who threaten its safety. So as you recall, when the Huldra disappeared, she left behind a map that revealed a location on the on your regional map, I suppose, of standing stones that are southeast of Huldra, which you can definitely see on this map here. Now, the Huldra are obviously not shy about a fight, and Captain Hafrid, who is the one who initially escorted you all to Huldra, and whom you have realized that the fallen Huldra, whom you gave the sword and shield, was her literal sister, not just sister in terms of like the sisterhood, actual like blood relative, and so she's quite a bit more into you guys, I guess, for bringing that to her. And the Queen is also willing to even let some of the Huldra go with you all, but only she still wants you all to kind of take point on this, kind of maybe even giving you a chance to prove yourselves a bit. And she's also thinking that maybe a smaller group would be more effective at actually getting in there and rooting them out versus and you know, taking advantage of the situation.
Well, he recently sobered up. Alaric is all for this.
Yeah.
Sobered up very quickly when they said that they needed something taken care of.
A lot of hangovers the day after the feast, for sure. A lot of water and bread being passed out.
My head's still
And
pounding
they're-
from the poison.
Yeah.
The snake poison.
You are still, you still feel kind of shaken up by this, I think. This was very vivid for you.
Do you share that with us? Do you tell us about your vision?
I certainly would, yeah. Yep.
Would you? I might have
I
asked you this last time. I don't remember, but would you share that with the Huldra, or just with your group?
No, just with the group.
Okay.
I had visions. I had vision that it was like the waking nightmares I used to have. It was very disturbing. I was being chased through woods, hands grabbing at me, and there was this giant cavernous pit, and a tower came out of it. Seemed very real. It was not like usual nightmares. Like
I was
said,
with you until you said the tower, because that feels like a Tuesday to me.
Aren't we looking for a tower?
You
think
are.
there's meaning to this.
Yeah, you're specifically looking for the word that you saw written on the invitation, which I can reshare to you all. Was something called the Midnight Temple, which you did share this invitation with the Huldra, and that's what they were using this to try to divine its location, which was written in blood on human skin.
Yeah, I think it's probably unrelated. Let's just go take care of this problem for the holder.
Just freaking us out, man.
I can't trust your drunk dreams.
Getting drunk on snake venom. And also, while you're in Huldramose, you all meet a minotaur paladin who is interested in joining your quest. Nahm Sune, would you like to introduce your character to the group? Well, we can circle back around to that. Do you all have anything you need to get done in Huldramose? Otherwise, the Huldra themselves are itching to get going. They're at least willing to, at the very least, help take you guys. They obviously know the river very well. They can avoid all the those big ape-like creatures, and they just kind of laugh about it, like, oh yeah, they take out, people. They consider it like a rite of passage just to make it to their village, basically. All these various creatures they have to deal with.
Alaric is down a few hit points. Wouldn't mind a little buff there.
We would get a long rest, wouldn't we?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
What's this? Oh, okay.
Yeah, following the feast, yes, you would have gotten a long... It's kind of awkward right now because you're getting a lot of long rests back to back. I realize that, but yeah, in this case, you would definitely be getting a long rest after the feast. Yeah.
And the Huldra know exactly where this stone monument is that we're traveling to, right? They knew exactly what...
Yes, they recognize it.
was?
Yes. It's about I forget what the scale is. Maybe 30, 40 miles from the village. Oh, I guess it's actually not to scale. It's not 15 feet, I'll tell you that. Probably 20, 30 miles. And they can take you by river, and then you get off the river and get pretty close. And they said the river is probably the safest thing to do. Fey creatures tend to avoid the river because there's other monsters lurking about, but they've got they know good ways of getting around without running into any creatures to get you down there. But otherwise, they will let you take point.
They're not holding Rye hostage, are they? Because a lot of derogatory comments about fake creatures there. I have some concerns about this.
Yeah, I don't think. That's actually a good point though. Yeah, you know what they hate? What would be really awkward though, is you get the feeling, especially after playing or participating in the feast, they do not like dwarves. There is some bad blood. All the dwarves up here are reavers, and even though they've only recently gone cannibal, they have always been warlike essentially, and warred with the Huldra specifically.
Knowing that we have a little bit of time, I'm going to make sure that that charm is fully charged. The Mark of Blood.
Okay.
I'll make sure that that's fully charged.
Are we going after one Fae in particular, or is this just like rampage?
Alaric's understanding it is it's a rampage. I know that there's some frost witch kind of thing that messed with my head, and I'm not really happy about that. And if she has any employees or friends, they're all on my list. But
So just
I
kill
also am
every
sheepishly. What was that?
Just kill every Fae we see, like from here to there.
From chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Kind of look at Lucian. Lucian, I'm trying really hard, man. I'm trying really hard.
You'll get there.
Everything is about murder. It's hard. Just alcoholic surrounded by alcohol constantly.
It's the
Stock up
whiskey
on
makes the screaming stop. And this is hard. This is really, really hard. And if we are going to eliminate a full camp of threat, I don't know what's going to happen. I may need help. And he looks at Io. I may really need help.
We're all here for you, and all you have to do is ask.
I don't know if I'll be able to.
We'll keep an eye on you.
Thank you.
When you say that, are you like trying to stop feeding or drinking?
I'm more concerned about I'm more concerned about the blood than I am from the liquor.
Since Kovac is the only one here with blood, he's gonna be like, "Whoa, don't fucking look at me! I'm not feeding you."
The only one here with blood. That is
Use
weird.
with a short straw.
Brought you along just as the blood
I got
bag.
diseases you don't even know about. That's why you got that necklace.
I was like, I've got a necklace. I'm not worried about diseases now. And by the way, Kovac, it's okay. You're just a snack. You're you're so small. You're just a snack.
Oh man. Yeah, so I will offer to the group as when we set out, I'll say if we need to be Kovac level sneaky for all of us, I can help with that. Just you let me know when we want to turn on the stealth, and I will I have Pass Without Trace turned on, so whenever we get close enough and we want to use that, we just have to make sure that whoever wants to take advantage of that stays within 30 feet of me.
Yeah, and you might get a chance. The Huldra will take you all down the river. Do you have any? They stay pretty stone faced and just mention the fact that they have seen some. Mainly, they call them. Gosh, I don't know if I can pronounce this. Frogashar, which they describe as small, filthy, goblin-esque creatures who dwell in the colder regions, and they delight in mischievous suffering and cruelty.
They're not
Do
undead.
they have any alchemist fire I can have?
The
I
Huldra?
can give you mine.
Yeah.
I will give you mine.
Alaric has some, yeah. They honestly probably don't have much of that way. They do have more traditional, just weaponry.
I've been holding on to that since the beginning, back in Zobek. So I will gladly give you that. Be interesting if we can get any information on what is going on in this camp. And then potentially sneak in, behind, get through some sentries, and start a fight from the middle.
Yeah, so the Huldra get you as close as they feel comfortable, kind of on the banks, maybe a few miles away, honestly. And they point out a small hill that you can see in the distance, and you can see the standing stones up there. And it's getting to be evening at this point when you all travel and set out.
Before it gets dark, Io, can you see from here any creatures, sentries, if they use fire, any information at all?
I mean, I can use my senses and my perception to try to see as far as possible, but
You see much better than I do.
well, I mean, Kovac is also really good at scouting that kind of stuff as well. But I can roll
dark.
for back here. You can see in the dark, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He can super see in the dark. It's like one of his things.
Yeah. So as we're approaching, my senses will be kind of on high alert around us. But as we start to get closer, I would defer to Kovac to kind of check that out. But for now, I can.
Ooh, with your plus
roll a really
11,
crappy
13. What you can see is the small hill dotted by trees, some ash and maple, and then ancient weathered stones standing in a circular pattern. You can definitely tell that there is a fire. You can see smoke from this distance, and clearly the fire glows as the sun is setting. But any more further information would require somebody to get closer.
Do you want to? Maybe we should go sneaky. I want to try to get closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this?
I can cast now if you guys want.
Or Kovac and I can sneak in and do recon if you want.
I vote
far-
cat out.
Cast now? Okay. How far away from the stones are we currently?
Right now, you're honestly a couple 100 feet.
Okay. Let me just see how long that lasts. Oh, up to 1 hour. Okay, so then I would cast. That is not casting.
Pass without trace.
There we go. Now I cast it. So we all benefit from a plus 10 to our stealth rolls.
Yeah. If they stay within 30 feet.
Yes.
Okay. So if you all want to move as a group, then I'll just need a group stealth check, which would be everybody makes a stealth check, and we just need over half of you to succeed, and you get a plus 10 on top of all of this because of the stealth.
That's a 29.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks to, well, you guys actually rolled pretty well across the board, even without the pass without trace. But you all are just a ghostly brigade. Now, what do you want to tell Hafrid, your Huldra captain, she's got a contingent of pretty much equal to your forces, maybe half a dozen Huldra, but they are not built for stealth. They've got all their spears and stuff, and they even, on the way over here, they were saying like, just stealth is not something like they charge into battle, but they will demur to your tactics. You want to just tell them to hold off for now?
Yeah, wait for the signal.
What is the signal?
You'll know when you see it.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of screaming.
Okay. With that stealth check, you all can creep up. I would ask how you're going to do it, but with the pass without trace, I assume you all have to stay within that 30 feet. So you're kind of awkwardly, fairly close together as a squadron approaching.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get closer, you can see the smoke is rising from a fire in the center of the Ring of Stones. The fire is surrounded by a trio of dwarves dressed in the familiar garb of the Reavers, which you saw a lot of at Reaver's Cave. You also can hear the sound of axes chopping wood in the surrounding woods and trees, along with high-pitched cackling echoes. And you can see several blue-skinned goblin-like creatures armed with axes, gleefully carrying wood to feed the growing fire.
How many of these blue creatures?
Give
me see.
Yeah, somebody give me a perception check.
You two are up in the front scouting ahead, right? Just staying within that 30 feet of me.
Yep.
Yeah, I would want to.
Alaric's paying a little bit more attention than Kovac with the perception rolls. You can see just in your area, you see 3 of those creatures, and then you look for a second longer, Alaric, and you see a 4th one kind of on the far other. You're approaching the stones from one side, and you can see 3 pretty easily, and there's one maybe on the other side of the stones. And you almost get to where you keep glimpsing what looks like movement just in the surrounding area in general. So you think maybe there may be more in the outskirts, but you would have to specifically go looking for them.
So they just appear to be carrying axes, no missile weapons or anything? Like, aren't carrying bows or crossbows?
From what you can see, they look like they have... with that perception check, you do see like the nearest one appears to have a rope-like weapon that you recognize as a sling, and also has daggers. So he actually looks like loaded up, kind of full of, not like big nasty weapons, but definitely has like a kind of a Swiss Army knife of maybe smaller weapons.
The dwarves are harder to take down, I think, than these little guys. But I might be able to take out several of the little ones quickly.
Why don't we get the Huldra to charge in?
That's an option too. Us move to one side and let the Huldra be a distraction.
Yeah, we kind of back them up.
I kind of, I look at the two of you and I say, did someone say charge? I could do that. Io gets a little excited.
Hey, we got somebody's webcam. Hello.
Yay!
You know, we could do cavalry again. It's been a long time.
So how are we close? Are we close enough now that we can kind of call the Huldra forward and?
If you called them from where you are now, you would probably alert your position. You would have to kind of stealth you've kind of crept up to the outskirts of the camp, left them back there, and now you'd have to kind of retreat back to re-talk to them if you wanted to. Otherwise, the last thing you said to them was like, look for the signal.
If you think you and Nam can hold them off until the... If you think you can take them, then we don't need to wait. But
I mean, I'm okay with them taking the first line, but we charge in right after them.
Still with Pass Without Trace, of course. That is lasting for an hour. Thank goodness you're clunky Minotaur Paladin.
Kovac's not here. He's got a 38.
38.
Holy cow.
No longer on this plane of existence. What?
Alaric with a 23.
Wait, why does it say you have heavy armor, though? You're a druid. You're not actually wearing heavy armor, right?
It's this mech form. Like, there's one of them that's heavy armor.
I am.
Oh,
She
shit.
is heavy armor.
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't realize that. You have it built in?
yeah, because I have. It's considered scale mail.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I guess we haven't had you roll stealth in non-animal form. Just not noticing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thanks to the spell, you are all masked from any detection at the moment, and everybody here appears to be there doesn't appear to be any guards or anything. They're just doing whatever work that they were doing.
Okay, so we're just going to go back and get the Huldra?
If we can't alert them from here, right?
Right, that would be.
Yeah.
You'd have to go back and talk to them, or like I said, the last thing they had was some kind of signal.
Kovac, would you be able to run back and tell them and then rejoin us?
That's a lot less badass than what I said earlier, but yeah, sure. I'll go back and tell them. Like, the plan is they charge first, and we'll be right behind them.
Okay, so you all remain there for a second while Kovac kind of slinks back. Although, as far as you never know when he leaves because he's a fucking ghost. Go ahead and those of you staying back, give me a perception check.
I'm bird watching.
Yeah. Look at the pretty flames. So Kovac, you go back to the Huldra, and they nearly jump out of their skin when you appear because you're just fucking sneak up right on them. What do you want to tell them?
Okay, yeah, we found the camp. There's not too many of them. So you guys charge in, and we'll hit them with the 1-2. We'll be right behind you.
Captain Halford nods vigorously. Says, I like this plan. Huldra! And they all, they get their spears, and they begin to march up the camp. The rest of you, with the perception score, while Kovac is gathering your allies, you can see, especially you, Io, just on the outskirts, on the other side of the Standing Stones, conspicuously outside of the light and warmth, you see a trio of humanoid figures huddled with each other.
As soon as I see that, do I have enough of a visual to recognize whether or not it was the same person that I saw at the Huldra festival?
You do not recognize that figure here, but there's something...
Okay.
You feel like you might be on the right track there.
Okay.
Your intuition is prickling.
I reach out and I would grab the arms of, I assume, Lucian and Alaric next to me. And I would say, there. We have to worry about them. And I will point and try to guide their eyes to where I'm seeing them.
Get me within 120 feet and I can shut them down.
So as you see them and point them out, you hear the sound of the Huldra charging. And as they begin charging up the hill, you all see all these little... and start, screaming and rallying. Huldra, for the world tree, cleanse these foul creatures. And a lot of these little Frogashar end up just dropping their wood and even their axes, and a lot of them just kind of pull out like little daggers or slings and start like cackling, and they're these really creepy... It's like if goblins had like the Joker face where it's like too wide and smiling a lot. They all do this. It's just like this and they're happy about this sudden ambush and occurrence, and they all just start pulling out their daggers, and they kind of... A lot of them, and you see more of them and more sounds appearing from the surrounding trees, and they immediately rush to step out with the Huldra and begin clashing with them. The dwarves, meanwhile, pull out their weapons, and one of them immediately goes to charge into the nearby woods where the Frogashar have engaged the Huldra, leaving all of you... Kovac, were you wanting to charge with them, or were you wanting to kind of just hang back and rejoin the group and remain hidden?
I wanted to rejoin the group.
Okay. So you all are still currently in stealth mode. I'll put you on a map in just a second. But it looks like the Huldra have drawn quite a bit of the forces away, leaving only a few. But now they are a little bit more alerted. So I'm going to ask all of you to give me another group stealth check. And this time, I'm actually going to roll perception. Which is wisdom, I guess. Ooh, interesting.
Getting worse and worse.
Yeah, we actually have 2 nat ones. Yeah, you went the Minotaur. However, group check means we just need half of you to succeed. So we ended up with and again, plus 10, technically. So 11, 23, 25, 29, and 16. So thankfully, because some of you are able to mask the sounds of the others, you are able to stay hidden and enjoy... the element of surprise as I move you on to this map. And I'm going to have all of you roll for initiative, please. Now, it is dark. Some of you do not have dark vision. You may be able to see your immediate surroundings, plus obviously the large fire that is really a bonfire, you note, in the middle of the standing stones. But I assume because you're all being stealthy, nobody was going to light a torch or use magical light or anything. So, but some of your party can see better than others currently.
Did I roll? No.
Wow.
Y'all, write this down. Because
Can
it
you
is
spell that
usually a
first?
single digit. What?
Take the wind right out of the sails on that one.
If you're charging, I'll delay until you go and we can ride in together and just do this whole mounted cavalry.
She's going
again.
lightning fast, and Alaric's like already stepping out in front. Like, no.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right, I'm not even gonna roll initiative for the others. That way, remember, you guys have a surprise round right now, and it's all you all. So this is your current distance. You see these little goblin-y guys.
We gotta get Nahm Sune on there.
Yes, please roll initiative.
You have to select your token before you hit roll.
That's what these guys look like. They're super creepy.
I was
kinda
gonna say
cute.
they were cute.
You guys are messed up.
Remind me of Pathfinder goblins.
Yeah, more monstrous in a lot of ways, and really creepy eyes. They almost have like little bits of like ice, like even clinging to their face. And then the dwarves are exactly as you remember, just these kind of Viking-like, violent-looking dwarves. These ones don't have any mounts though; they're just by themselves.
What direction did Io point out the 3 targets?
Pretty much, if
Want to give me my aura again?
yes,
My 15-foot aura.
I don't want to, but yes. 15-foot aura. Like so.
Thank you. Okay.
Casting Spirit Guardians.
Mm-hmm. There. And that is my 30 feet of movement.
Okay, and this is one where when the creature enters the first area starts its turn there. Okay.
Yep. So this guy over here is going to start off the fun.
Gotcha.
What does your aura look like?
It's that faint yellow glow around me. It's a bunch of small, look like glowing gold hussars, winged hussars that are flying around in and out of the space. About 12
Fiendish
of
wing?
them. No, a radiant light. They're very pretty.
Some did actually let you do light, but I guess that's a specific thing in D&D. Technically, it doesn't actually.
What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't actually project literal light, correct?
No.
Okay.
They're just they show up as
Okay.
like radiant figures,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not giving off light.
Thematically, I feel like it would, but also mechanically, like that would probably give this spell too much good use on top of it. As I mentioned, some of your party are effectively blinded for a good chunk of this, unless you guys want to cast some kind of a light spell or a torch or something. All right, Io, what you got?
Okay, I have a question for you, DM. If I cast a spell that's concentration and then I wild shape, say for example, call lightning, that allows you to move the target as part of your turn. Is that something you would allow me to do in wild shape form? Since I still have my mental capabilities.
I think so. Yeah. Can you post call lightning just so I can
Absolutely. Yeah.
see it? Can Use your action to call down lightning this way again. Target the same point to draw one. Yeah, you're still having to spend your action. It's just, if you want to maintain concentration, which, yes, I don't see any problem with that. I think, casting spells that require concentration, then shifting to wild shape is a fine move.
Okay, then
By all means, cast the
I'm
concentration
going
spell
to-
and come into melee.
Okay, so we said that I saw them down here, like where my ruler is. Is that in this
a little
area
bit
down
further
here as well?
south, but yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I like thematically that you can, only kind of pinpoint. You don't know exact area, but it's just because it's a large area and there's the flames and the smoke's kind of fucking up your vision here with the night.
Okay. So I'm going to cast Call Lightning, and I have a range of 120 feet, so I can get it to the edge of these stone circles here. It is 10 foot tall with a 60-foot radius.
Okay.
And then a bolt of lightning will flash down from there. So basically it's focusing on someone within that. Each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dex saving throw. So what I would like to do is cast it on the edge, the outer edge of these stones.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3 individuals should fall within that. I want to send the lightning to exactly where those 3 were. So all 3 of them would have to make a dex saving throw.
Roll me another perception check to try to zap this exactly where you want it. Fuck.
28.
All right.
Io says.
Yeah, nuclear launch detected. You pinpoint that red dot.
Shazam.
And that lightning bolt cracks down right in the middle, interrupting their discussion, and thus forcing them to take dexterity saving throws.
It's a DC 16.
So we'll do 3
Damn
of
it.
those.
Ah, okay. So it's full on a fail, so 19 lightning damage and then half on a success.
Right.
And then that way I can choose whether or not I want to use my action to call down a lightning bolt during that round, or if I want to do something else with my action, but the storm stays up.
Okay. If you
And
maintain
with my
concentration, yes.
Yes. With my bonus action, I am going to wild shape into my elk form.
Ooh.
So you see Io, where you normally see her get down and her hands touch the ground, and then she her back expands into the bear form. You see she extends her hands out and hooves form, and she only really has to touch down very ever so slightly in her giant massive form.
Yeah.
And that is my turn.
All right. We've got a lightning storm and a giant elk has joined the battle, which
Move here so I can.
yeah, it kind of takes up the entire.
I guess I can't. Yeah, I didn't want to be on top of somebody, but I think I am. Sorry, Kovac.
Yeah, you just gently nudge them all the way as your form expands. Yeah, Kovac.
Are the Huldra here?
Yes, they are slightly off map because I'm not putting all that shit on the map. But they are engaging, and when you look over and see, there are like over a dozen of those little goblin creatures like just springing out of the woodwork. So you figure there was actually a lot of creatures in the surrounding area that would have just come at you guys from all directions, but they have drawn like a lot of those forces away.
Okay.
which you guys kind of ended up going past them in a way because of your good stealth check. You got into the middle of the camp, whereas the Huldra now were, getting to the camp, so they pulled a lot of those outside forces.
I'll steady aim and shoot my bow at that guy.
Okay, I think because you guys were hidden, you already have advantage, technically.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Well, then I'll get a little closer. And I'll shoot at purple number 1.
It's safe within the light. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Opening attack on a nat 20 on a rogue. Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
I think he explodes.
Yeah. You point and shoot, and he goes, and then all of a sudden the laughing remains for a couple seconds, but the body's just gone. It's just vaporized. One arrow, just like a thermonuclear detonator.
38. Jeez.
That's pretty gross. I get more ambushy than that.
Then I'll dash and move over here.
Okay. A little bonus action dash. Kovac, from your point of view, you might be able to see. Actually, not quite, I guess. You've got good vision, but these, pretty far away. You see all the flitting images, as I mentioned. A lot of the woods now are coming alive with the shrieking and cackling of these smaller creatures, but they appear to be drawn to the Huldra at the moment. Lucian.
I was gonna do something nuts, but I'm gonna run. Let's see. 60 feet. Okay, so I'm gonna run down here. As I run by, I'm gonna shoot this guy with a ray of frost.
Finger guns.
20, 25, 30. And I just want to come down here just so I can get a better look at the battlefield. And come on. 17.
Oh, you tease me.
Yes. Yeah, I know. And myself.
Yeah, these creatures are wearing armor and are actually wielding a shield, but 17 does hit. Ooh,
for 8 cold.
that's because the crit. Yeah, okay.
And and 10 feet off his movement.
Okay.
So I started there.
So you shoot that ray of frost, and you see the cold just seems to form additional icicles on his body. And he just grins as cold, cold, cold. It feels nice. Love the cold. And
I am more where that comes from.
It does not appear to do any physical harm to him.
Ooh.
Dang it.
That's why I got this alchemist fire.
Noted.
I will say.
Will it slow him down at all?
No. He appears to be completely acclimated. Yeah. To the climates, magical or otherwise. The odd thing is, though, you all note that they've been also not afraid of this fight. They've been carrying wood and building this bonfire. All right, Nahm?
So, having seen the ray of frost escape little bits of icicles in this guy's beard, I am going to lower my head and dash at him. Taking the dash action as a minotaur will leave me Goring Rush as my bonus action. I will make an unarmed attack, basically. I will poke at him with my horns.
Alright, let's see it. Oh no. The first roll is in that one.
Okay, I'm just gonna go be sad and try not to get killed by a small furry thing.
Yeah, so you have to like, dash, still move towards it? Is that how I have to like look at how this move works?
Yes, I have to have 40 feet.
Immediately after you take the
40 feet
dash
away
action
from me
on your
right
turn.
now.
Yeah, okay.
So, I'm not sure how to move me.
Are you stuck under? Let me move my token.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I think.
You're glued to the giant elk. Also, we need to get you a more ferocious because this fucking moose looks so sweet and kind. I can't imagine.
She is normally sweet and kind. She just happens to be really angry.
Falls flat on the face. Dunk. All right. So I think that was the dash. Okay, the action was a dash. Now we're gonna roll initiative for the rest of these folks. And do it like that. Fairly low numbers all around. Jeez. All right, so after your initial volley, now you hear the hags on the other side start pointing out your presence and whispering and shrieking. And one of them you can even hear says, See, I followed you here, you fool! Careless! Alaric, you are first.
Okay. Can't see too well around here, so I need to move to get some intel. Oh, there's some critters.
Mm-hmm.
Move about 15 there. And we'll think that's dwarf 1. My eyesight might be a little bit off. But gonna hit him with a Sacred Flame.
Okay.
15 dex save on dwarf 1.
Dwarf 1.
Right there.
Dex save is a 10. That's not good.
5 points of damage.
He kind of shields his eyes for a second, but just yells.
And under his breath, he just goes, Lucian, I'm trying.
I am going to rinse and repeat, since they are still clustered together on that far side of the stones. I'm gonna send my lightning at them again, so that'll be dex saves DC 16.
Yeah, you're right.
And I will re-roll. What is it? 3d10.
Closer she got. Let's see.
Crappy roll.
I guess.
Ouch.
Man.
I don't have anything I can do on the reaction, do I? A 3d10. Wow, yeah. Uno. Now they'll all fail. No, 2 of them did. Less. That was like
So 6 points.
less than a third of the damage you did last time. Weird.
So
It's like when you shuffle your feet on the carpet.
that can still be quite painful, I find.
I'm trying to figure out how to direct the lightning with my horns, since it's the first time I've gone elk, and I'm not quite getting it right.
Yeah. It probably looks cool though. You like point with it, just crackle. I know it's coming from the sky, but there's gotta be something cool looking when the horns, the antlers, they start crackling with energy.
And I am gonna just move a little bit so I can try to get a little bit of a different vantage point on the. I'll just follow Lucian, I guess.
Okay.
So I can kind of see a little bit more of that eastern side. that is my turn for now.
Okay. We've got one of these horrid little creatures. Our tree must burn. 10, 15. Let's see. Dearest Alaric is the closest one. This one can't quite reach you. They are quite short, and you can see that it's, as much as it wants to engage you, it kind of looks at your like flying angelic creatures with a little bit of apprehension and doesn't really want to get too close, but it will get its sling and just try to whip out a rock in your direction. 10, 15, 20, yeah. 23. Wow.
That actually hits.
For 3 bludgeoning damage.
And I have to make a concentration concentration check.
Concentration, that is true.
And I fail.
Alright.
Ooh.
With the dynamite con saves. A 3 damage rock brings down the angelic hosts.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye, Aura.
Oh, man.
I did it! I did it!
He takes it. Lucian!
Protected you are not! Here! Here you find only death! Death and fun!
Death? Death, did you say?
We're old friends. This one will, this Reaver Dwarf will give a battle cry and charge at Kovac. Wielding a battle axe. And he's gonna do so recklessly. Means he has advantage, but you all do have advantage on him. 15?
15? Nope.
Ooh. Even with advantage. How about a nat 20, my friends? DM has come to play tonight. He's already getting the dodge out. So it's 18. You can do uncanny dodge against it. But that is possibly massive damage. I need to get me a con saving throw. Which I think in my future house rules for my next game I'm going to eliminate the con save. I think that's a fail, but I'm not sure.
That's half the damage, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Is it just half the damage?
Half the damage or 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was 10.
Okay. So if it was 8, yeah, so you did make the save. Alright. That was his second attack, so that's all he's doing is screaming in your face. What?
Does he get a third one or no? Just 2 attacks?
2 attacks, yep.
Okay, good.
You trying to get a kill?
No,
You know what? Sure, he does get
No, I didn't know. Yeah.
He's like, Kovac's got more blood in him. You could do another attack.
I could have taken the advantage away, that's all. Sorry.
Alright. Nahm?
Right, well, having fallen on my face dramatically while rushing this little furry thing, I pull out my halberd and take 2 big swipes at him in an attempt to smush the little furry thing flat. We'll see.
Stupid horns, no hit! No hit! No!
20 will hit. Give me some damage on that one. Damn. Guess how many hit points it had. Despite the first hit and its gleeful taunting of you, you take the other one and just shove it right in his mouth. And, and it just stops for a second. And it did.
Yay!
First kill.
And I will move. So that's 1, 2, 3. Toward dwarf 1 over here.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's me.
Alright, Kovac. God, I did so bad on initiative, y'all. Holy shit. I'm just realizing.
I'm gonna move around so you can see.
As a reminder, this one did attack you recklessly, so you would have advantage.
That's far enough. So I'm gonna try to stab this undead number 2 guy right in front of me.
Not undead. Good try. Regular dwarf. 27 will hit. Ouch. For
22 damage.
a shit ton of damage, even with a non-crit. 18, yeah, 22.
And I will disengage. And laugh like Mickey Mouse as I run over here.
Alright, finally, the trio gets to act down here, and they immediately begin to scatter a bit to avoid the terrible lightning strikes. And you can hear them talking amongst each other. One of them is like, that big beast conjured the storm. He said, I have a storm of my own, sisters. And she waves her hands in the air. You see a great flurry descend all around you. A tempest swirls, and a freezing storm of sleet surrounds all of you. If you thought you could not see well before, this does not help matters as this descends. Literally obscuring your vision, in fact. I guess it'd help if I actually cast a spell, wouldn't it? Freezing rain and sleet fall in a 20-foot cylinder with a 40-foot radius centered on a point you choose within a range. That is enormous. The area is heavily obscured, and exposed flames in the area are doused. The creature appeared to have put it just outside of the bonfire. The ground in the area is covered with slick ice, making it difficult terrain. When a creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a dex save. On a failed save, it falls prone. If a creature starts its turn in the spell's area and is concentrating on a spell, the creature must make a successful con save against your spell save DC or lose concentration. So it doesn't do damage, but it could make you fall prone, and it does force you to make concentration saves while it is up. And it's heavily obscured, which essentially it's a fog cloud. So everybody is effectively blinded with each other. Debating on whether or not I want to actually create a giant... you know what, I wouldn't be able to do properly anyway, because I couldn't really recreate the facsimile of that. Because if I just do a big circle, then you would be able to see just nothing outside the circle, but really it's everything in the circle. Anyway, so Yeah, you've got all limited vision. You basically all lose sight of each other immediately. All you see is this giant flurry of storms, and you can barely see like the hands, your own hands in front of you. That one's dead. And then we've got these little... And these creatures I just mentioned don't give a shit about the cold. Although the dwarves you were fighting do appear to be somewhat alarmed by this new state of events. They do not have the same benefits. 25. So, since this one's going to try to strike at somebody... actually, you know what? I'm not even going to let him. He's not going to be able to attack you guys in there. He's going to dash. 5, 10, 15. He's just going to dash inside of the flurry and effectively be completely immune to its effects. There's no prone state for him. He literally like does this cool, like, it's like watching a penguin in the water. Like, penguins are so awkward on land, but then when they're in the water, they're all kind of graceful and fast. And this thing is just weirdly graceful in the most terrible snow and ice conditions. But it used its...
He could see, though? Is he wearing, like, little goggles?
No, that's why I didn't let him do a ranged attack. He's trying to go after you guys and hunt you guys down. But he does appear to have some kind of preternatural awareness of, like, maybe trying to go after you. But otherwise, he's not, like, trying to strike you with a sling or anything. He's just, like, he just pulled his daggers out and he's just kind of hunting in the snow gleefully. But doesn't appear to have any problem with, like, falling over or something. Let's see. So with that... have these guys, so I don't think I'm going to update you on what anything happening outside of the Sleet Storm, because you guys would not really be aware of that. So it is Lucian's turn, so as you start your turn, I need you to make me a Dex saving throw to avoid falling prone from standing still, I guess. It should probably have a thing in there where it's like if you move, but it just says start your turn. You do stay on your feet.
What was... Is it... Okay.
Oh, with a 13.
Do I know the way out of this? Or am I gonna be like...
Yeah, I mean, you're effectively blinded inside of here. It's not like you were suddenly transported to a different area, so you still kind of remember... you know, maybe the basic layouts, but the problem is you're just now effectively blinded in here, so it is difficult terrain in here, so it would be double movement regardless. Prep some Sleet Storm sounds. Just do that the whole time.
And 15, so that's only going to get me to the edge. And where were these? Where were the hags? I can't see anything.
From what Io pointed out, they were kind of across on the other end of the stones from you all, kind of grouped together. But now they've had about a round to disperse a little bit. So
on the eastern side of the map, or
kind of the southern, maybe southeastern side.
Okay. That's the edge. Yeah, I'll have to stay there.
You do still have
I got nothing. So
an action if you want to use the action.
I can dash.
Dash technically.
Yeah, I'll dash.
Yeah.
I'll dash. So then that gets. Am I out at that on here?
Yes, at this point you would reach.
I could go there. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's out 5, 10, 20, 30. I can't go in between here,
right? Yeah, you could go there.
Good. Okay. Oops. So that's 5. 30. I'll just tuck myself there and wait.
And wait.
I am done.
Draw a shape. Ellipse. This would be a massive ellipse, though. Oh, this is probably more trouble than it's worth. something like that to cut off the lighting. Alright, the dwarf is not immune to the cold. So it has to make a dex save. Did not have advantage there, so he falls prone on his ass and has to thus spend half his movement standing up as he grumbles about witches and their magics. And that only leaves him with barely enough movement. Thankfully, Nahm is right there in front of him, so he can kind of stumble forward to get to you. And will attack. There's a weird rule here where everybody's kind of blinded and it kind of cancels it out, but I'm going to maybe change that to everybody just has disadvantage in here. I think that's just the easiest way to try to rule anything. Unless you have some means of true sight or something. So with disadvantage, he will attack. Although, you know what I'm going to do? Give him Reckless. Because why the fuck not? So we'll cancel that out. Normal attack you with the battle axe. 13's probably not going to hit. 10's definitely not going to hit. Alright. Despite his anger and rage, he fumbles over, like slips and falls, tries to come at you, but just can't quite get purchase. And he's pretty upset about the change in the battlefield. Lucian, you have stepped into view. Let's see. You can't see. Let's see. So 5, 15, 20. You see a figure that looks like an old crone, but with blue skin, claws, kind of a fur hood, and just glowing blue eyes, and she just snarls at you angrily. And she says, "You think you're master of cold, do you?" And she just... she fires a ray of frost at you. No! That's what I get for talking shit.
I know that spell.
Yeah. Yes, you do. And that one misses terribly. Alright, Alaric, give me a dex save. You fall,
you a Smurf?
slipping prone.
Yeehaw. Stand up, half my movement. And then start moseying out. Well, hello there. I wasn't expecting you to be there. Attacking with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So, remember to hit the button. Does a 14 hit?
Does not. These guys got some decent armor and a shield. Although...
Reckless?
Yes. Yes, he recklessly attacked, so you would have advantage, which would cancel that, which would give you a normal roll, and your first roll is a 23. So 23 would hit.
So we'll take that.
Yes. Yeah.
For 7 points of damage.
Just like my dear wife playing a barbarian, just always assume these guys are recklessly attacking.
And... Alaric has fallen. He's lost concentration. And we're going to do... second. He's going to take an extra 15 points of necrotic damage as black just sucks the life out of him into his blade.
Okay. You get the satisfaction of watching this dwarf go from usually battle rage euphoria to like sudden shock and looking quite upset at this feature. Death dealers.
Well, someone said they wanted to introduce me to Death. I'm already well acquainted with him.
Io Elk, I need 2 things from you. I need a dex save to avoid being prone. And I need a concentration spell. Sorry, concentration saving throw.
Okay, so the dex is a 16.
Yep, you stay on your 4 feet.
Okay. And con.
And
21.
you maintain concentration on your Call Lightning.
Elk don't care.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So, elk have 60 feet of movement.
Damn.
So, and so I'm gonna come straight south 30 feet.
Yep. Yeah,
I can't see enough to count the squares, but I'm pretty sure I was here. I would be here.
Okay.
And out of it.
That looks about right.
Okay. But I think I'm stuck between pillars, so I can't really see anything where my token is, because my token's too big.
That may be a way to fuck up my map. Yeah, you are. It's exactly what it is. There's the it's the standing stones. It's all those stones are
Okay.
screwing up the line of sight for you guys, and they are pretty big. Even though you're a giant elk, I would assume they're still blocking.
So my goal is to step out and quickly survey and identify where those 3 hags are, so that I can pinpoint my lightning.
From your point of view, the problem is, at least a couple seconds have gone by, i.e. 1 round, and you're not sure where they ended up during that time. You knew where they were before, and then you got a round stuck in the sleet storm, and then you emerge to see one of them in your view. So you can't quite pinpoint where the others are, but you do see one right here.
Okay. All right. Are there any other enemies in close proximity to her?
Not that you can tell, and you've struck them twice.
Okay.
You would imagine a creature would have to be pretty stupid to still try to gather together.
Okay. So then I will put it in a position where none of my allies are within 5 feet of it.
Okay.
And I will rain hellfire down on her in the form of lightning.
Okay. Hell lightning.
Hell lightning.
That's better.
Yeah. 16 is the dex save.
Okay. Ooh, they are.
Yeah.
Despite
It's all right. So 7
not great
7 damage.
dex save, they are nimbling around quite a bit.
How's that one?
And
Sisters.
that is my turn.
All right. Got another Frogashar, which will gleefully leap into the sleet storm, ignoring all of its effects. And by the way, that was not the one that had the sleet storm for the concentration. And will work on stabbing at Alaric, and like I said, has no hindrance from these snowy effects. Seems like this is its natural biome or habitat. And it will attack you. It pulls out a dagger to try to stab you. That's not going to work. And then it leans in and tries to bite you with its wide, terrifying grin. 19. You are muted, Alaric. Oh shit, you're doing shit.
There was the gleeful laugh as he just deflects the dagger, and then he sees him go to bite, and the shadows just come around Alaric and block it.
Okay.
I get 5 temp hit points, and my AC goes up by 2.
No taste, no taste.
Oh, you summon death. Now you can meet him.
Oh, these dwarves are not happy with the hags right now. This one falls over again, prone. Jeez Louise. Losing half its movement. And then it can make a stumbling forward just barely. And once again, attack. Try to get to Kovac. It would be disadvantage, but uses Reckless again to just cancel it out. And swing with his Battle Axe. A 16 at Kovac.
That hits.
10 slashing. And a 19 for another 10 slashing. You can he dodge one of those, yeah. It's cold or no cold. You'll feel my axe. Alright, Nahm Sune.
Who will scream, "Oh yeah, fear this!" And then start smacking some doors. Hopefully.
Oh, I do need a dex save from you first.
Oh yeah, that's right. So just fair warning, I'm probably falling on my butt, and then I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm falling on my butt first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm getting up from being prone, reducing half my movement, and then smacking a dwarf. Oh, am I doing this with disadvantage?
Technically, although he did recklessly attack, so it would be normal.
That's okay, that 2's not going to hit anything anyway. And second attack.
You're not liking this cold weather.
Apparently, really not. That's what happens when you're a cow in the Delta.
All right, Kovac.
All right.
Uh, 17 will hit.
That was my deck save.
Oh, sorry. Dex save is good. You stay on your feet.
I have half movement.
If you want to stand back up, yes.
Well, I didn't fall prone because I made the deck save, right?
Oh, sorry. It's everything is difficult terrain in here. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna. Let me see here. I'm just gonna run away. So I'm gonna bonus action disengage. If I'm here, can I? I mean, can I? I guess like how far-ish can I see?
I would say you could see anything within 5 feet of you. Beyond that, we'd have to use context clues based on the fighting and sounds you've heard. So I imagine you could be able to definitely
see Nahm is fighting something.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, then I'm gonna go and attack whatever she's attacking.
Okay. So you would have disadvantage from the sleep. You advantage,
yeah,
because you have advantage because you're reckless, but you have disadvantage because of the sleet storm. So that would just be normal, right? Because everything, even if you have 14 disadvantages and 1 advantage, cancel each other out. So it'd be a 15, and 15 does not hit.
Does not hit. All right.
This hag is, and you can hear her say, "Keep it up, sister. Our storm is slowing them down." she will... Let's see, 60 feet on that. 10. Lucian, you can see this one come into view. You do know that as she approaches the standing stone, she even takes maybe a step, to try to get a good beat on you. And you can see her take a step back, even when she gets near the fire and heat of this bonfire. She appears to not actually get even that close to it. Like, she wants to, kind of get closer to you, but then she doesn't want to approach the actual fire space. She wants to stay in the darkness, in other words. So she stays back and fires a ray of frost at you. 15? Actually, hang on.
I'll
make sure she's actually in range of this spell. Ah, yes. Okay.
I'll shield it.
Okay.
That is my AC. So.
Okay. You put up a little force field, and she scowls, and then she kind of slinks back a little bit. This one will come here and charge and say,
That rat tastes good.
tries to stab at Kovac with a dagger.
Miss.
What is your 16 is yours. And leans in to bite you. Very ineffectively.
Stay still, stay still.
Alright. Can anyone see the elk over there? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Not very easily. That's it. Lucian.
I do not see the one concentrating. Apparently she's in the trees or the behind the...
You're pretty sure it was the one that just tried to shoot you, actually. You could see her mumbling and constantly looking over at the thing. The one that stepped closer to the bonfire and then stepped back.
Then yeah, I'm gonna check the distance. Well, come on, ruler. So I'm gonna have to step up. I'm going to step up to here, and I'm going to twin Dissonant Whispers on number 2, and...
Oh, shit.
Is that the one that's concentrating?
Yeah. You can feel the heat from the bonfire here. A mighty flame.
I might even get a tan.
Wisdom saving throw. Your skin instantly reddens. Let's see. Wisdom. Wow. You borrowed Dory's dice with that one, the damage dice.
Yeah, I did.
This is number 2, and this is number 3. Although I can't make a save either, so jeez. Oh dear. Alright. So 8 damage, 8 damage. That does trigger a concentration save. Which I think that one is 10 or half the damage.
Yeah.
And they have to use their reaction to move as far as their speed allows away from you. So they shriek, turn tail, and have to run further into the darkness. 10, 15, 20, 25. Just almost to the edge of the tree line.
Duck back behind there.
All right, dwarf.
Give my unholy song.
Finally makes a save. Doesn't have to fall down. Our dwarf friend, I haven't had to use this yet, has pack tactics. So if he attacks any of you, gets advantage without having to go reckless, but of course has disadvantage from the sleet storm, so it's just regular. At this point, it's a target-rich environment, and with the sleet storm going on, I'm just going to leave it up to Token Fate to decide who he's going to strike with either one of his attacks. We'll go Alaric and then Kovac. So Alaric for attack number 1. 13's not going to do it. And Kovac, he's just kind of just spinning around and attacking. Gets the 19.
The 19. That'll hit.
Our rogue is taking some damage this fight. 9 slashing. And then one of the hags that just got whispered now has to spend a good chunk of her turn just trying to get back into view. The funny thing is, as awful as the sleet storm has been to you guys, you're also not getting pelted by the hags. D20. 30. I don't think she's in view of anything yet. All right. We've gone beyond our break time, even though we're in the battle, but we started up a new order of initiative. So why don't we go ahead and take our break now for about 10 minutes, and then we will come back and resume this battle with Alaric at the top of the initiative order. So I'll see you all in about 10. I think we're coming back from our break time as we go from soft music back into battle music. We're still battling, most of you in the middle of a sleet storm, fighting a bunch of icy goblin creatures and annoyed dwarves. We start with Alaric.
Can you hear me at all?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. We just had lost power. Storm came through.
Oh.
Ooh.
You just look even.
Now you really do look like
Wow, you
Lucian's
really-
twin.
Even I think we all made the same joke. It's even creepier.
So what I would like to do, my goal is I would like to target that one with my lightning
Okay.
in that direction. So that's my goal.
The one. Okay. What is the? That's a funky range, right? Because it's like you summon the lightning cloud, and it's actually from that cloud that the range comes from. Is that right?
Yeah, so the cloud is a 60-foot radius.
Okay. So it's basically the battlefield.
Basically, and then anywhere in there I can call the lightning to come down from it.
Okay. You do have to see at least a point. So I'm gonna make you roll a perception check. Because,
Right, that's why I asked. I wasn't sure.
Since Lucian dissonant whispers and that hag like fled into the darkened recesses of the forest.
Right.
All right, with a 20, I would say you would be able to.
I can also move 5, 10.
That would probably help.
I can pass through the 20.
Come into the light.
Yeah, I'll just come right there. Because if I have to ram anybody or whatever, I can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would want to send it in her direction
Sure.
for her to make her dex save.
Okay. I could do that.
Let's see what this roll is going to be.
That is a bad save.
3d10. 11 points of lightning damage.
Okay. I mean, this lightning storm is doing some work over all these rounds for sure.
And that would be a con save, right?
Yes, it would. 17. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That is it. That's the end of my turn.
5 cam mode for a second. This is a session of technical difficulties. All right. We
gonna
will.
move back into here, I think.
Let's see. Is Alaric? Roll attacking. He's no longer in Discord, so he can't hear me. Nope, he just left roll 20. Shoot. Well, we will hold his turn for now, because I don't know what his situation is. So we did IO. Thankfully, I can move people down. This creature would unfortunately attack Alaric, because Alaric's the closest one. I'm going to have it dance a little bit closer, and then it can choose between Alaric and Nahm. Let's see. Alright, we'll choose Nahm Sune of the Delta for the attacks. Tries to stab you with a dagger, Nahm. 13, not gonna do it, I don't think.
Oof.
He does manage to bite.
Yeah. For 3 piercing damage.
Ow, you little.
Steak. Ah, and meat.
Alaric further down the line. The dwarf, deck save, Mr. Dwarf. falls on his ass, stands up, slowly ambles over to Kovac. Let's escape me. He's like jittering now. He's cold. And with Pack Tactics, we'll attack with just normal against Kovac. Can average 1 hit on you. For 9 slashing. Kovac has taken...
I don't think I can uncanny dodge.
We just started a new round. Or no, but it's to your turn, right? It's not the round, I think. Is that how it works? I should know this.
I'm not sure. I'll just take
reactions reset.
Reset on the character's turn. Okay, so yeah, so you used it at some point during your turn, then you wouldn't have it again, I guess. I don't remember though. That was a whole break ago, so. Keep moving Alaric down, and we'll go to Nahm Sune.
I will attempt to smack the dwarf again.
25 will hit.
25 will hit.
And I smite him while I am at it.
Hmm.
Okay, so in this instance,
Okay, dwarf's looking pretty bad.
Dwarf's looking pretty bad.
and then I will try to hit him again.
All right, both dwarves are wounded. I would say very wounded. We go to Kovac. At some point, we may have to adjudicate a turn for poor Alaric. He hasn't seen him come back yet.
I'm just gonna try to straight up stab number 1.
Okay. $16 does get through. 14 piercing. Alright, he yells out in pain and like clutches his side. He's still up, but he's like grunting and spitting out blood.
Alright, I'm gonna disengage. Oh, I gotta make that save.
Yeah, deck save. You're fine. The cold never bothered you anyway.
And I think this is as far away as I can.
Okay.
Dan just messaged me.
Okay.
He was trying to get in on his phone, but in the meantime, he said he was going to back up behind Nahm, taking opportunity attacks, and then cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. He doesn't even need to because the Frogashar moved instead. But that is a very good move for him to do.
Take one from the dwarf, huh?
Oh, that's true. Well, yeah, it gets tricky with the fact that you're effectively blinded here. I'll give him disadvantage. Uh, 14 does not hit Alaric. Alright, so Alaric will cast Spirit Guardians, which I'm trying to think of the timing is kind of wonky here because that would affect everybody who started their turn. So I'm probably going to have all these guys actually get affected by Spirit Guardians here. So we can, yes, cast that. because I believe all these dwarves... No, sorry, two of the dwarves... One of the dwarves and the Frogashire have taken a turn when Alaric would have gone, so I'm going to actually have them have to make the save right now. So it doesn't screw them over for being technical difficulties. So... that wisdom save for the dwarf actually succeeds on that. And then the Frogashire wisdom save is a big fail. Actually doesn't die. That one's a mighty Frogashire. But is very, very wounded.
Do you want one of us to run his sheet, Eric?
If that needs to happen, then yes. We'll see if he can come back by the time it's comes back around again. But yeah, I'll definitely adjudicate that if that needs to be
He said
the case.
cell coverage is even going down. That's what he just said.
Oh dear. Alright, snow hags once again just have to kind of make their way back to the battlefield. So let's say 10, 15, 20. This one's just barely gonna be able to make it up. She's slinking along and I think out of range of anybody. This Frogashire has Nahm in front, so it will... Oh, you know what? Spirit Guardians. Starts... I need to actually post that in the thing so I can run myself. There we go. Halved in the area. I wonder if that means it's halved and halved again. Well, the speed is halved and difficult terrain. That would really fuck you over for all these creatures. Or at least for the dwarves. They wouldn't be able to move worth shit. Alright, so
5 feet
wisdom.
per turn.
That guy fails. Io, do you want to roll me the 3d8 damage?
Sure. 18.
18 is pretty good. It's actually still alive. It definitely cries out with the Spirit Guardians. Doesn't like that. It will still try to attack Nahm in front. Probably a no. Let's see, what's your... Yeah, 16. Yeah, those are both no's. Yep.
Yep, those are both no's.
And it tries to get away from the Spirit Guardian, so it runs away. So Nahm, you have a chance to get an attack of opportunity. You have disadvantage because of the Sleet Storm, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it slips out of your grasp.
Oh, wow.
Alright, this hag is actually right in the elk's face. And it does the thing that I don't think you saw, Io, but some of the others did. Where she opens her jaw and it like distends very creepily, like almost like a snake's, and exhales this great freezing breath. A 15-foot... Oh, radius around her. That's weird. It's like exhaling like a steam engine at that point, right? So I need a con save from you, Io Elk.
I'm trying to debate if I should use my inspiration, and I think I should. So we're gonna go ahead and use that inspiration. It's not much better, but
Almost. It's 13.
dang.
That's how you roll some d6s. Actually, I rolled exactly average, didn't I? It says 21. You take 21 cold damage, and you are restrained by ice. So you literally, your body just starts forming this ice shell.
Guess I should roll a con save, huh?
Indeed. Web thing on there. Oh no, the lightning storm! I've just done so much work. Yep.
Sorry, guys.
Lucian, you see your giant
I'm
elk
just
over
gonna
there. Just
resort to stabbing things.
yeah, all this ice suddenly forms around the body,
Mm.
and you are restrained. Lucian.
Read the effect there that it's having on her.
And you are pretty sure the one that is concentrating on Sleet Storm has approached back, but you'd probably have to get in a different position to be able to see.
So I wish I thought of this earlier, but I believe Dispel Magic, I can cast that on the cloud. It's on the Sleet Storm, correct?
You sure can. It is magic.
Then, okay. Yep. I wish I thought of that earlier. But anyway, thinking of it now, so. And then I add, since it's 4th level. No, it's a 3rd level spell. So yeah, I'm just going to cast it.
Yes, I think. Yeah, is it 3rd level Sleet Storm? Yes. Yeah, and it just instantly ends. Oh man, imagine that. The rest of the party's gonna smack you. You could have just turned this shit off at any time.
Hey, we have a lot going on tonight, so
I look on this tree. What's this switch?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do this.
Okay.
Aha!
I imagine Kovac would turn around and be like,
If
I probably didn't see what happened.
Exactly. If I were Lucian, I'd be like, "Oh, I got her! Finally, got her!" Like, don't even admit that you cast Dispel Magic.
It's a miracle.
I found the off button.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and enough of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's an action to cast. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And there. And call out to the rest of the guys. We have a frozen elk. Frozen elk alert.
Who ordered the frozen?
And my turn there.
All right, the dwarf is affected by spirit guardians as well. So that's a wisdom save. That's a failed wisdom save. Io, you want to give me another, what was it, 3d8, I think? Oh, lordy.
22.
Whoa. Guess how many hit points that guy had left. You see him, get ready for his steel grip on his axe, and all of a sudden one of those winged radiant hussars like flies right through his chest. And just collapses over. Damn. You can hear the hag start rallying. Sisters, now! I've stopped the storm! Let's kill them! But you note that they still don't want to go near the fire. But there's a rat in their line of sight, so she will gladly fire a ray of frost. You know what? Even though it's magical cold, because it's shooting through a bonfire, I'm gonna give it disadvantage to try to hit Kovac. A 15.
Ooh. Thank God for disadvantage.
You feel the cold coming like through that bonfire, and you instinctively like kind of dodge out of the way a little bit. All right, Io, your options are somewhat limited. You are currently restrained. You can make a DC 13 strength check to shatter the ice. You can still take an action as normal, I believe. Restrained Let's see. Your speed becomes 0. You have disadvantage on attack rolls, and attack rolls against you have advantage. But it doesn't limit your spell casting, technically.
Okay. I think I need to get the hell out of here. I'm also communicating with Stan, so I've got literally like 7,000 windows open up here.
Thank you for running communications.
Okay, so I'm breaking out. I'm breaking out.
All right, give me that strength. That is
15.
good enough. You burst out of the ice.
All right, and I can't. The hag that attacked me is to my south?
Yes. Just,
okay.
Yeah. Literally, like, right here. It's very dark out here away from the bonfire. And the hags seem to prefer that.
Yeah, okay. I can't, so I used my action to do that, so I can't attack. So I think I'm gonna stay. I gotta stay there.
You still have movement. Did you want to... You could get closer to her?
Am I gonna take... yeah, I can't see how far away from me
You are not in melee
she
range.
got.
You are not in melee range currently.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to be or if you want to not be.
No, I just want to block I want me to be in her path
Okay. Take
from anybody else.
1 square south.
Okay. Yeah.
There
okay.
you go. Now you should be able
So Alaric dropped out of the initiative when he dropped out of Roll20.
No, he's still on there. I just had to move his ass down. But you're right. He should have gone.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't change him, but yeah.
Actually, no. I want to set myself up for something for next time, so I am going to stay there. I'm not going to go towards her.
Okay.
Okay, so he has the silence spell, he said.
He is still concentrating on spirit guardians. Does he want to drop...
Oh, is
I don't think
silence also
silence-
concentrate?
Oh, maybe not.
If you want to give me his sheet, Eric, I can pull it up.
You're gonna do this better than I
fine.
can.
Unless somebody else wants to take it.
Nah, there you go.
James or Corey or Stephanie, if one of you guys want to.
It is concentration.
You're chatting with him. I think you should be able to take it.
Okay.
Yeah, but silence is concentration.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. Okay, so if there is anyone around him that he could just attack, then...
Definitely.
And keep his spirit guardians up, then we will do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have access to his sheet. You can... I think he usually has his rapier as his main attack.
Working on pulling that up. I'll just put that over here in this window. We'll be good to go. Rapier? The +1 rapier?
Mm-hmm. That's not how you roll an attack roll.
What the? Yeah. He was rolling at disadvantage for some reason, but it doesn't matter. It's the left score anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You guys have had more nat 1s tonight than nat 20s. Of course, I've been making you roll at disadvantage a lot of times, so I guess it makes sense.
And he wants to use his bonus action to maintain his shadow form.
Oh boy, I don't know how that works.
Aegis. I'm
Like plus
working
2
on it.
AC and 5 temporary hit points.
Yep.
Okay. I have to
And that's
+2 to AC. Okay. Because this creature, well, I gotta do Spirit Guardian. You know what? It's not gonna. Well, yeah, it's not gonna matter. He's got so few hit points. But we'll do it for funsies. Give me that 3d8.
Ugh, 9.
That's gonna melt this little frog. And then the same thing. This one's got to make the wisdom. What is the wisdom? It's got to be higher than a 13 though.
It's let's see, Spirit
DC?
Guardians.
This is 15, I think.
15. Okay. Give me another 3d8 for the dwarf. Now the Spirit Guardian is doing work like your Call Lightning.
$15.
Okay, that's pretty brutal. This one starts to waver a little bit. I'm gonna make him roll a wisdom save, actually. Yeah, he's going to kind of look around at these Spirit Guardians and the Sleet Storm going down. All of you still being up, although Kovac's in bad shape. And he's actually going to retreat. Um... 5, get to there, and as he retreats with his movement, though, he will throw a spear at Lucian. It's a retreat spear. You can huck 2 of them, though, but yep, and because he's all scared and retreating, he's not really gonna be throwing. You almost don't even notice. You just see these spears flying.
Stan just said roll damage on that dwarf.
We did. He took damage.
Okay.
Yeah, he took damage. That's why he's retreating now. I guess I should type that since he's on the Discord. And then Nahm, it is your turn, and now you have no actual enemies around you. Well, you've got some that have pulled back, I guess. This guy and this guy. Yeah, 23 will definitely hit. Are you showing off the reach of this massive halberd? 9. You absolutely get to slash the midsection out of that Frogashar, and it just falls over in 2 different pieces. You were muted, by the way.
I will use the rest of my movements. So 25 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To move toward the hags.
Ow! Ow! Sisters! A storm is gone! I approach!
Go back.
Alright. I am gonna steady aim and shoot at the hag.
This one?
This one? Number 2, yep.
Oh,
There it is.
Nice.
Kovac is pissed. through the bonfire, so yours takes on like a fiery, like, catches the flames. Oh my goodness. Somebody math for me.
37.
30.
Hey, guess how many fucking hit points this hag has left? And I'm not kidding. You can watch the tape on this one. That perfectly just sails through the bonfire, catches the flames, and you see her eyes go wide in terror as that flaming arrow hits her dead center, and she shrieks and collapses like Obi-Wan and just robes left, but there's smoke coming out. And you see their 2 just suddenly start wailing. Oh, no, no! How the turntables. Oh boy. This one will shuffle forward a bit. Will very angrily try to take out Kovac with a Ray of Frost. Oh my gosh. Ever hit with this Ray of Frost again? 13's not going to do it. And she will slink back. Say,
Sisters, I must escape. Away!
And you can hear in the surrounding woods the sounds. There's way fewer sounds of these goblin creatures, and you can even hear a few Huldra shouting and saying like, "We've got them clear, we're coming up." That one's dead. This hag. This one appears eager to latch onto you, Io Elk, and she actually approaches and just rakes you with her claws. Ah,
Yeah, that hits.
7 slashing damage. Lucian.
It's too far away to do that. I'm just. It's too much. I'm gonna mine sliver hag number 1. Probably not the right call, but.
Intelligence. Oh no.
Ooh, this is.
Alright.
So 3 damage, but she takes 4d4 off her next saving throw.
Oh yeah, good.
I'm just gonna get. 30. Just gonna go here.
Okay, do you have Alaric instructions?
Okay, so he wants to know. He looks at Kovac and he wants to know how hurt Kovac is looking.
Looks quite hurt.
Okay, so he is going to okay, I quote, he is going to take out his mark of blood, and as he is running toward the hags, he's going to pour out a pint of blood on Kovac as he runs past and say, "Here, you'll feel better, at least physically." And that is, I don't know if I can post that. It's a superior healing. It's equivalent to a superior healing potion.
Wow.
Uncanny dodge.
It never hit me with your blood magic.
I just had this
just
dry
don't
clean.
know. I don't know what a superior is for rolling purposes. There we go. Okay.
Ooh,
And
good
he is
stuff.
going to
Holy shit.
use his full movement speed of 30 to run toward the hags. So there's one by Io and the other one is down here in the 5 o'clock-ish area, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, he's gotta get around the fire. Okay, so he's gonna come down here.
Burst through the fire.
That's right. I think it was this square. So he can see what's happening. And I think that's his turn. I think that's his action. I would use the mark of blood and move toward the hags.
I think, yeah, we usually
what he
rule that using a potion on another person is your action.
Okay. That is his turn.
All right. Now it's your turn,
right.
and you've got now this other hag has just come up to you and just clawed at you now, just viciously.
Okay. Dang it. I wanted to back up away from her, but
You still could.
yeah, screw it. I'm doing it because I'm getting 20 feet of distance, so go ahead and take her little swipe at me.
Oh!
Damn it.
Your delicious hubris. It's so good. Oh, it feels so good. That's gonna be 22 slashing damage as she.
Okay.
As you try to, turn or back up, whatever, and she's just all of a sudden turns monstrous, like Bilbo in that Lord of the Rings scene with trying to get the mithril, trying to get the ring. Just like ah.
Okay. Well, you now see Io instead of an elk.
I also need a con save
But-
for massive damage because that was a crit.
Oh boy. All right, wait. Back to this.
The indicator icon's humongous still.
24 con save.
All right, you are fine. I was gonna say, but
And she didn't like that. And so she decides she's gonna spread some light out here on the battlefield, and she's gonna cast a butterfly effect on that hag.
oh boy.
So you see a cloud of illusory butterflies come out of Io's hands toward that hag, and she will need to make a charisma saving throw or be charmed by me.
Okay.
And she takes a D4 off of that.
Oh yeah, she does because of the mind sliver.
And my spell save DC is a
Nice.
16.
Oh.
I don't think she needs it.
Despite her pretty good
All right.
charisma, yeah, she rolled. I rolled a D1. I'm gonna do that. So she got a 6.
Okay, so while charmed, the target can't take reactions and must roll a d10 at the start of each of its turns to determine its behavior for that turn.
Oh boy.
So when you roll the d10, there's a list of what she does on her turn based on what she rolls.
Okay.
And then I am going to use the rest of my movement to step inside Alaric's Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
That is my turn.
Did you take any overlapping damage from the attack?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was how many? I got to go back up and do the math. It was 22 total.
22 total, yeah.
Yeah, so then the rest of it would have been. Oh, what? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Is it that? I guess it is that dwarf again. Okay. Well, Alaric moved on, so now he's feeling a little more brazen. He's still alive. He will keep hucking spears at Lucian. Like, pay attention to me. I'm a worthy opponent. Yeah, maybe that'll force you. Any shielding, Lucian?
It won't. Yeah, it wouldn't block it anyway.
Okay.
So.
10 piercing. That's a big spear.
Yeah.
Second one does not hit though. Shunk. I'm not dead yet. And he does appear to be in really bad shape. He's bleeding and coughing up blood, but just doesn't quite want to retreat. There we go, Nahm.
So, given the distances, and I see pretty much little untouched hag over here, on I guess at about 5 o'clock. She is approximately 45 feet away from me, so I am going to take a dash action, move up to her, and then gore her. Or attempt to, anyway. Hopefully, this time it's slightly more effective than last time.
Was it?
Like a matador.
Matador,
waves
yeah.
part of her cape.
Yeah. And then, Kovac.
All right, I'm going to take a shot at the hag that Nahm is fighting.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for getting close to it.
13 is not good.
Well, nothing I can do about that.
Just flips her kite the other way.
Ow.
All right, and then I'll move over here next to Lucian.
I'll not be beaten as easily as my sisters.
Nahm, you have not seen this, but she does the thing that just Io just suffered from, and she distends her jaw and exhales this cold breath all around. And I need to fix that macro, but I need a Constitution saving throw from you. That is almost maximum damage. So good work making the save. You take half damage and you are not restrained.
Alrighty.
That's all she can do. Unfortunately, she doesn't really want to step away from you because of your reaction attacks. The other one... did something happen to that one that I forgot? Oh, the butterfly effect. That's what it is.
Yep.
That's why I marked the token.
So you have to roll a d10.
I'll let you roll it. See what happens. Terrible fate befalls this charmed hag.
What did I roll? A 4? Okay.
Creature doesn't take an action
The
this turn.
creature doesn't take an action this turn. Now it does say at the end of each of its turns, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another charisma saving throw. On a success, the spell ends.
Why is 1 the same as 2 through 6?
If you read up in the text, it says if you roll a 1, you gotta move.
Oh, gotcha.
I wish it was on the sentence itself. It's
That's
confusing.
That's just the way it's maybe.
Because I was looking at that like, what?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Okay.
The last sentence, creature uses all its movement to move in a
Okay,
random
okay.
direction.
At the end of each turn. Okay, so it gets to make another charisma save.
Yep. Fails.
Okay,
Still
so
effective.
still charmed and effectively can't do anything. Just like wandering around. She's like batting at the butterflies and like she's putting up her hand and like trying to crush them. Like.
But if she takes damage, she can make another save when she takes damage.
Interesting. Okay. Lucian.
It's 5, 10, 15. I'll move down there. I'll mind sliver her again. Just try to keep her under that effect.
I love that you're
Does
just
that damage her?
ignoring this dwarf.
Oh,
It's just
shit.
throwing
Yeah,
fucking
it
spears
does.
at your back.
It just
Oh, never mind.
said if
Yeah,
it
yeah,
takes
never
damage.
mind. I know. Yeah, so,
Okay.
okay. Wreck on that. I didn't realize you were trying to keep her. Okay, so 5, 10.
Yeah, she's effectively locked down if she, depending on what they roll, I guess.
Oh, boy. 5, 10.
What's that thing over there on the outskirts? Is that an enemy? To your left?
That's the
Oh,
bad
yeah.
one.
Forgot about
That
that.
tried to
Yeah.
run away.
Yes.
Yes, forgot about that guy.
One
So,
chucking spears.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, so I'll Ray of Frost that one.
He's just annoyed now, like, pay attention to me! He's just arcing spears at your back.
Whoops. That's what I wanted to do. 15
Nice.
hit?
15 does not hit. He puts his
Nope.
shield up and says,
I
this will be the ultimate enemy that
Nope.
survived.
15. I'll just back up there. Warm myself by the fire.
Yeah, you all got quite chilled from the magical sleet storm, so
Actually,
that'd actually be a weird sensation to go from like freezing
that's good.
sleet to warming bonfire.
Okay, so Stan's typing and moving himself.
Moving himself. Alright, charges forward as a rapier. 21 does hit. Yes, for 11. That hag reels back in his spitting blood. He can't. It's a shame he couldn't get back in the Discord chat, though. Hag is quite bloody. I'm not used to having to tuck things into Roll20 very much. Io.
Okay, let's see. I am concentrating on butterfly effect, I believe. So you know what? I am going to wild shape myself back into an elk. And I'm going to charge at this one.
Show Nahm how it's done.
And wait, where's my giant elk? Okay. So if the elk moves at least 20 feet straight forward and then hits with a ram attack on the same turn, the target will take extra damage. Alright, so I'm gonna move at it without running over
Barreling into your
either one of
companions.
my allies. and then we're gonna hit. We're gonna.
Oh, it's not just Nahm.
I'm out. I'm out.
Oh,
That's
the charge has all been like epic fails too. They've all been very low.
Ole, ole.
Yeah. She was a matador before she became a hag.
Oh, sad. Okay. Well, I guess that big epic move is a giant epic fail. So,
Although, I mean,
end of my turn.
joke's on her. She's got 3 freaking enemies surrounding her now. Alright. This dwarf, who nobody has still killed, now gives off a stern battle cry, sees Kovac, whom he's been trying to take out all evening, and charges forth with a scream and a cry with his axe. Turns on the reckless, turns on the advantage, goes on with the axe. The 22.
You guys just left me here.
And he knows it too. And another 21 for 7.
I'm gonna dodge the first one.
Okay. You're gonna get all the use out of that superior healing potion. Nahm, you have a very bloodied hag in front of you.
We're gonna try and keep hitting it.
I am sorry to say 16 does not hit the hag.
Okay, well, swing again. A little virtual dice. Oh!
Nothing above a 10 on your dice. She just snarls, but she's looking around and realizing this is still not a good situation for her. Although if I can recharge her little AoE freezy thing, it could get interesting. Kovac.
Alright, so this guy reckless on me, so I'm gonna
Reckless on
sneak
him.
attack. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sneak attack. Ooh, Reckless helped you there a lot.
Yeah.
He has many
24.
regrets. The Reckless did not do you in, and instead you simply find an opening that he left himself open, and you put him down for good. He whispers at you, "That was a good fight," and then collapses.
Move.
Game recognizes game. Shut up, dwarf.
Die already.
His death rattle has only just begun. Alright, Hag, can you recharge this ability? Because... that oh, you're right, Spirit Guardians. Yeah, I know what he's typing. You're righty.
We're on it.
Ah, shit. Here's the wisdom save. Let's see if he...
3d8.
Yeah, he's typing. He's got it.
Yep. Okay.
That's funny.
There we go.
That's
16.
hilarious. 16. Okay. Still up, but she's in real bad shape. Let's do... Can you recharge it? Yes, you fucking can. Yes, you can. All of these misses. Spirit Guardian does slam into her, and she, like, totters backwards, but you can see as she rocks back, her mouth opens wide, and she just screams this icy breath in a 15-foot radius around her. So Nahm, Alaric, and Io Elk need to give me con saving throws. See if he realizes. He does. Yeah, he's on the ball.
Unbelievable.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Alright, I need to roll... I did roll damage that time, yeah, so I fixed the formula. So, 24 damage. Nahm makes the save, so you take half, and you are not restrained. However, Io and Alaric both take a full 24 cold and are restrained.
And I have to make a con save. I have to make a con save
I
for...
think Alaric might have just used inspiration or something.
That was for concentration for Spirit Guardians.
Oh no!
Yep.
His
And
legendary
my
con save.
butterfly
Oh my god.
Oh yeah!
Everything
Oh,
is
con! Oh shit!
My butterfly effect drops too. Damn it!
Oh my gosh!
Don't,
I
don't
can't
wanna
absorb
say.
elements. I'm in wild shape.
Right.
Yeah.
The drama. She will... Oh, this is going to be foolish, but she's going to try. She's going to try to retreat, which is going to trigger all kinds of attacks of opportunity. But I think this is her best shot because 2 of the 3 are restrained, which means you have disadvantage. And she's in very bad shape. So she is going to try to pull back. And that is going to trigger attacks of opportunity. So let's see. I assume stand.
So I have to roll
damage.
a disadvantage.
I'll take 24 cold and are restrained, just so he knows. Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna try to hit her with my hoof and keep her in place. Kind of that, like, step on her skirt kind of thing.
trying to type things to Stan so he kind of gets what's going on.
Yeah. I think he can. No, I guess he can't hear us. I thought at one point. I thought at one point he said he could, but.
Yeah, well, he's not in the Discord, right?
Yeah.
Channel now, so. So Nahm, you can.
My brain is literally partitioned like into 7,000 different.
I appreciate you doing this so much. Thank you. Yeah, 16 does not quite hit. This might have been a great opportunity. I'm waiting on Alaric. Yeah. To give me a disadvantage attack. Or did he have to use his reaction for something else? I'm not thinking of it.
Disadvantage attack on her.
Yeah.
I'm typing it to woman here.
Not the ideal way to play D&D online.
Yeah, we make it work.
We make it work. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All 3 missed. This hag is cackling all the way to the bank. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And she's not quite off screen, but clearly trying to make her way the fuck out of there. The other one is newly freed from these effects and trying to call out, Sisters, are you there? And as she approaches this way, she will attempt to fire a frost bolt at Kovac as Kovac's up. Actually, she'll choose between Lucian and Kovac. They're both kind of close. It's Lucian who's actually going to get the Ray of Frost. I can not hit with their Ray of Frost at all tonight. That is not happening.
I don't think I hit anyone either.
It's crazy. Like that specific attack, all the others have been doing just fine on.
Just goes over the bonfire and turns into water.
Yeah, little droplets. All right, Lucian.
Which way did she duck out? I didn't see. Is that her?
Yep, down there.
Okay. Oh boy. Did she look like she was attempting to run also?
Not quite.
Is the other one off the map? I didn't see.
The other one is not quite off the map yet, but she was really fucked up, and she was, looking like she might be trying to pull away completely.
Right. Well, I can't see that far anyway, but you did say this one was attempting to run. She made it seem
she looked
like
she was like turning tail and running, but certainly like weighing her options and maybe looking at pulling back. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna 60 feet. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a web in this area. Yeah. Just kind of make that whole.
Its turn. Okay.
Just try to make that whole area a sticky mess.
Put a net thing to remind me. Screw the area. Okay. So it's just on her turn that she's got to make the dex save.
Yeah, I'll put the front edge here so she has to walk through. Well, wait, if she saves, she can just walk through the whole thing, right? It's not like every step you have to make so it doesn't matter it doesn't matter where I put it.
Yeah.
But it is difficult terrain, so her speed would be halved, right?
It
That's
does
true.
say difficult terrain, yeah.
That's true. So yeah, I'll put the front edge here so that if she runs that way, she's got to walk.
Okay.
It takes
more movement. Yeah.
Takes her movement. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. And at this point, you haven't heard any of the surrounding chittering or cries have all died down. All you hear now are the Huldra starting to make their way towards you. They seem to have cleaned up all the surrounding area. Doing a Sacred Flame.
Dance typing.
Yeah. Assume on the one nearby. I will take the liberty of making the save.
It's a dex save.
Oh,
I don't know.
thank you.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still 18, but
No, I'll do Dex, or Dex worse. Oh, okay. Made the Dex.
Still
though.
makes it.
Yeah.
Io Elk is trying the charge again. Gotta happen once, doesn't it?
You are frozen, I believe, right? Still
Oh,
restrained by the
dang
ice.
Mind. Okay.
I just want to charge.
So, okay, I'm gonna bonus action, drop form. And I'm going to cast something. Let's see. Because I have, if I cast an attack spell, it's at disadvantage, correct?
So, with you dropping form and changing your size so radically, I would probably rule that might just break you out of the ice just like that. Because the ice was formed around your elk form, and as you shift, I could probably rule that it would like crunch, and you would just appear kind of in the middle of just a way too big ice shell.
Okay.
Mechanically, that's probably not true, but thematically, I think it makes sense.
Fortress
you
of
guys have to
Solitude.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
Enjoy your ice house.
I am going to, I think I want to stop her from running. So I'm going to cast
Break her legs.
Entangle.
Okay.
That too. So I'm going to cast it. I don't want to impact my melee friends. So I'm going to follow Lucian's lead.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast it so that she has to spend the majority of her move trying to get through it.
Okay.
So it's a 20-foot square.
Okay. With the most of it being on the other side of you guys, in other words.
Correct.
Or on
So the
her,
melee
yeah.
people can still get to her.
Okay. Now this one does say when you cast the spell, they have to succeed. So I guess I can do that right now.
Strength save.
Strength save. They are surprisingly strong for hags. ET dubs.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a giant waste of a turn. So
You're no longer restrained by
Okay.
ice, at least.
I'm done.
All right, Nahm. All the planets are in a line for you to get that charge.
All right. Except for the part where I can't see her. I'm assuming I have a reasonably good direction on her.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So
That should allow me to charge at her. Okay. Still within, so the first thing I will do is try and gore her. Hey, finally! And as my bonus action, technically I probably needed to do before this, so it's up to you. But I would Wrathful Smite. So that's actually a bonus action spell as opposed to Divine Smite.
Okay.
Okay.
Full damage on the hit. So that was 6 damage from the hit, and then the description on Wrathful Smite should add 1d6 psychic damage. Anytime she's hit, she's got a DC spell save. $16, I think. That's the 13. So again, it's 2 points of psychic damage. 13 spell save.
She had so little health that when you charge, she does a little matador thing and then kind of has a bloodied grin when you miss it. When you come up with your halberd, suddenly her grin turns into a frown as you just impale her completely, and that wrath just spreads throughout her body, and she just kind of twitches and is still.
One down.
Kovac, the only thing you see left is one hag who is in webs, but I guess hasn't interacted with the webs yet. That's kind of an awkward timing of that spell.
Yeah. I'm gonna steady aim and try to stop her from running with an arrow to the face.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Oh my gosh. Dude has
That's
gotten
3 tonight.
3 crits tonight, and he's the rogue, just monster crits.
34 damage.
Good lord. I just got to give you the insta kill for that one. That was just insane. Like, I'll be honest, she's got a little hit points left, but that was just insane. And I think I'm going to give you inspiration for getting 3 crits in this battle. Right when that arrow goes through her head, you see Huldra emerging from the woods and saying, "It's fight over already." A couple of them like throw down the heads of a couple of these Froggershars.
Yeah, I told you it was a good plan.
They do look like they've taken a number of damage, but they all nod and clap and cheer and say, "This is good plan. You routed them." Here in the campsite, we can montage you going through all their things. You do confirm that they seem to have notes and drawings and notes about a possible world tree in Huldra, and they had recently confirmed its existence, and they were apparently trying to either chop it down or chop parts of it down and just burn it here, just cause mass chaos. And you see throughout all their notes and things, they keep alluding to Ragnarok, and they call themselves Ragnarok cultists, trying to just speed up the end days in this region. The treasure of this area, you find 14 copper, 242 silver pieces, 40 gold pieces, 30 platinum pieces, 2 blue jasper worth 50 gold each, a scrimshaw sperm whale tooth worth 250 gold pieces, a potion of healing, a potion of animal friendship, and a potion of invisibility. You all celebrate the victory. The Huldra usher you back across the river. It's very joyful. It's just you just won a big game, and everybody is celebrating back at the locker room. It's all popping champagne and cheers all around. And you make it back to Huldra, and you can all enjoy the benefits of a long rest. You can, in fact, I'll move you onto this map. And the Huldra, of course, spend the whole time talking about the battle, and a couple of them, boast about how many of those Frogashars they killed, and there were so many in the woods, and you all can talk about your deeds and glory, but everybody wants to share their tales as they sit around that great hall.
I'm gonna brag like a mofo.
Yeah, he fucking should.
Yeah.
100%. And then the next morning, after being heavily hungover from your long rest, the queen, first of all, obviously congratulates you on ridding the region of these pesky fey creatures and keeping the world tree safe. She does confirm and says, after receiving several visions, our diviners have confirmed the location of this midnight temple. A great evil stirs in Nordheim, a ruined city that was once the grand capital of the Dwarven Reavers. No one is sure what happened, but the entire region fell to darkness and remains cursed to this day. No Huldra dares set foot inside, but we can at least help you get there. Given your sincerity, your prowess, and the task at hand, I have agreed to summon the Valkyries for assistance in this mission. Copy and paste this for... Oh, stands on in Roll20 anymore, damn.
His laptop died, so he told me to take control of Alaric again.
Well, the good news is he will be able to watch this later. So you all head into an outdoor platform that looks like it's ceremonial, and there are priests standing amid a circle of burning braziers. They throw handfuls of pungent herbs onto the braziers, and curling spires of scented smoke whirl skyward to become lost in the gray overcast. The priests pace the circle, chanting as they do. Each bears a wooden bowl of blood, freely given by the Huldra. They dip bundles of rushes into the blood and shake the rushes so that crimson droplets scatter on the grass to either side, before and behind, as they continue to trod the circle. A low rumble of thunder punctuates their chant, and dark shapes wing their way from the clouds above. A quartet of great winged white wolves plummet, silent as hunting owls, their wings outstretched to break their dives, and they alight gracefully, surrounding the circle, nostrils flaring at the smell of fresh blood. Fierce warrior women, decorated in full, gleaming armor, dismount from these great winged beasts and gaze solemnly out at all of you. And the priestess bows her head and says, Great Valkyries, we beseech you. These ones have, indicates you all, proven themselves mighty in battle, full of valor, and they have a righteous task. And just kind of turns to all of you to address them.
I nudge Lucian.
It was an honor fighting beside you. What did we... Just curious, what did we stop? What did we prevent from them chopping down this great tree.
You're speaking this to the Valkyries or to the Huldra?
Oh, I thought the Huldra were
I think they're expecting us to
Talking to
address the Valkyries.
Oh, I mean, you can talk to either one, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I had said it was a great honor to fight beside you and whatnot.
Yeah.
And looking forward to fighting alongside you all as well. But that's badass.
The Valkyries, they don't did dismount. I think they dismount. They do dismount. They dismount and stand head and shoulders above, probably not the Minotaur, but above the humans for sure. And just look down, not with like scorn or anything, but definitely seem very imperious and have an air of authority about them.
Is there like one for each of us?
Yes, but they don't. They're still standing in front of their mounts, protectively, and looking at you. And they have these very unsettling, just glowing eyes that seem to pierce into you when they turn and look. And one of them says, turns to you, Lucian, and says, "What is it you wish of us? Our place is not to meddle in the quarrels of the living, only to pick the chosen from the aftermath."
There's a great evil in the world. It is coming to your land, whether you like it or not. We seek your help in finding this midnight temple. We believe it is the next key to stopping this.
The priestess nods and kind of turns to the Valkyrie and says, "Great Valkyrie, it is in Nordheim." And the Valkyries, you notice they all stiffen when she says that. And they look at each other for a moment and look to you and says, "Nordheim is forbidden."
Can we do to change your mind? Can you at least? It is off limits to yourselves or just outsiders?
What you do with your lives is no concern of ours, but our lives are in service to the All-Father, and he forbids anyone from entering that cursed domain, or any of his followers.
Even
I
if it
would
is
step
protected.
forward. And I would come up next to Lucian and echo his sentiment. We seek to stop this for the betterment of all in this region. Our homeland as well as yours. If you're forbidden from entering, please escort us as far as you can. Help us as much as you can, but we will be entering. We will stop this blood marriage.
The Valkyries look at each other again and turn to you, and one of them, and again, head and shoulders above you, so looking down, and just gazes at you and seems to look straight through you, and you feel just the pressure of this very powerful entity really just looking you up and down. And then it seems to pull back a moment and says, this we can do. We can take you no further than the edge of the cursed forest.
That is all we ask of you.
They nod and they...
We respect.
Good.
Yeah, we respect your customs, and we will ask no more of you.
We will do this for the Huldra, shield maidens and shield sisters have proven themselves worthy time and again, and they vouch for your valor. And your mission is a righteous one. We will speed you there. But once you are inside, you are on your own.
I understand.
And with that, you all can clamber aboard these winged wolves. You all each get a wolf. You have to ride with a Valkyrie, but the wolf is large. It's not an obviously normal sized wolf. It's basically a dire wolf size or winter wolf or something, so larger. And these great wings just beat up into the air, and you feel just some kind of divine supernatural power lifting you off as you all head towards the northwest and fly. Pretty much montage you. It does take a couple days of flight. Normally this would be weeks of journeying that you make in a couple of days. You have to stop and camp once in a while. The Valkyries do not stay with you for that. They just get on their wolves and fly off into the heavens. But they do protect you, and you note that even though you're in dangerous lands, you feel utter calm and serene. Somebody can give me a history check to try and figure out anything about Nordheim. These are...
Would this be something Alaric would grab his sheet?
Kovac.
There you go.
No. Oh my god.
Just showing up. Alaric may know, just, given his faith, I'd probably give him advantage on it.
I rolled for him. It's only a 6 for him.
But Kovac is, he's read all about this. He took a whole, he studied abroad and did a whole fucking semester in Nordheim. And he can regale everybody with the tale as it suddenly comes to him. And you remember that Nordheim was once the greatest of the Dwarven Reaver kingdoms, but was also the first to fall. You know that it was not conquered from enemies, but some kind of evil or something happened, and to strike it down, you think maybe their own, they dug too deep or something. There's also a pretty common rumor or theory that the actual city of Nordheim was struck down by the Asgardian gods because of some either great evil the Dwarven Reavers did, or maybe they just got too powerful or something, but they were literally destroyed fully, and that's why it's considered an off-limits no man's land. With that check, you also heard rumors that because the gods of this region has forsaken this land, it means that nobody can pass into their afterlife, Valhalla, and thus it is filled with the walking dead of all of those dwarves who have not been able to move on from their life. And I think that is where we are going to end this session of Empire of the Ghouls. Thank you to Corey, Dory, Genocider, Stephanie, and poor Stan. You can at least watch this session later. Thank you to all the patrons for helping make these sessions happen. Shouts to Platinum patrons: Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, Brennan, Zendersider, David, Eclectic, Roleplay Roll, Christopher, Brian, Corey, Coa1337, Big Nut, John, Scott, Gene, Eric, Tyler, Nathan, Camp Crystal Lake, Counselor, Big Shep, Andrew, Daryl, Reldrin, Matt, Captain Woody 79, Jaren, Matthew, and Stephanie, and Gold patrons: RPG, Papercrafts, Pretty Boy, and Yuma, Dead Lizard, Lion, Sam, Lumpy Spuds, Jerome, Nathan, Fast Like a Tortoise, Scott, Repus, Carolyn, William, Jerry, and Thomas. Thank you all very much for your support. See you next time.
That's Stan.